Is a little bit of Craftin coming to you from Wisconsin. We're going to say it's Tuesday, January 13th at 11:59 p.m. Even though it flipped over to 12:03 a.m. on Wednesday, January 14th. We're still going to publish this for the 13th. Let's see if we've got some sound. We do have sound. Yay. I remember to restart my phone. That's always a good thing. I've got my iPad set up. Let me get my computer set up. And we'll get going. I've got notes popping all over the place here. So welcome, whether you join me live or on the replay, let me know you're here. I do watch comments and I will respond appropriately. I try not to respond inappropriately, but we'll just get things organized here while folks start coming on. Usually I have at least a few catch me late, those of us that are night owls. So let's do a couple of quick announcements. My online store that has all things Stampin' Up, bonuses that are going on, sales that are going on, events that are coming up. My store is there. I'll be adding projects once things stop being so crazy, but you can find me at latenightlory.stampinup.net. You can also follow me here, subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on my Facebook page. Yeah, so let's get going. My schedule this month is pretty much the same as it is other months, all right? Monday I'll have open studio time for those that are local to me. The 21st we've got Coffee and a Card at Cat's Coffee House. That's for people that are local to me, of course. We have got on the 21st and 22nd, let me find that little announcement. I know it's in here. Here it is. Actually, the 22nd and 23rd. We will be having a virtual card retreat. So there is a retreat kit that you need to purchase for that retreat. There's not a cost for the retreat itself. Once you've purchased the kit, everything you need primarily for the platform will be there. It's going to be done on Facebook as a private group. Stampin' Up! Will then download the videos afterwards, upload them again so that they will be available for on-demand viewing as well. So if you've been on the fence and you didn't order the retreat kit, you can still go ahead and order it. It comes with a full pack of DSP that's exclusive to the retreat. So there's DSP, there's two-tone cardstock, there are cutting lines on the back of the DSP, so it's not the normal two-sided DSP that we normally have. We'll be making 15 cards. All right, we'll be learning. It's basically going to be like a 2-day masterclass from Stampin' Up. So there'll be different people presenting the projects, teaching us some hopefully new techniques, and walking us through those projects. Excuse me. If you haven't ordered the kit, you can still watch it live. Work with whatever you have in your stash as best you can. It'll be fun. Anybody local to me that buys the kit, if you want to have a watch party with me, let me know and I will open up the studio. Let's move that out of the way. Bonus days are going on right now, January 6th through February 2nd, for every incremental purchase at $50. So 50, 100, 150. You will earn a $5 coupon to spend in February. So I'm calling this the Earn It and Burn It Club. So you're going to earn it in January. You you want to make sure that you burn it in February so that you don't lose it. After you've made your purchase, you will get coupon codes to redeem in February. So $5 for every $5 or for every $50 purchase. Plus, you still get your Stampin' Rewards, which is a bonus. So you're getting like double bonus there. We also have Product of the Month. It was a new program that Stampin' Up! Started last month. Last month, it was a pack of exclusive 12 by 12 designer series paper. Yesterday, that paper was still available. So it will be available until it's gone. And it will be available at that $5 price when you have a $75 purchase. That's in the United States. Other markets, it's different amounts. But when you get to $75 before tax and shipping, you have the option of adding, for January, this really fun stamp set for just $5. The designer series paper last month was also $5 for a qualifying purchase. If you didn't get last month and you still want it, you could put in a $75 purchase, get the December paper. You could put in a separate $75 order and get the January stamp set. You are limited to one product of the month for each month. So you can only get one of December. You can only get one of January. You can't get one in December and then get December again in January. It's one. All right. So this is a really good deal too. We don't know what next month will be, but it looks like they're going to be released on the first Tuesday of the month. All right. So watch for those. It'll be fun. Paper Pumpkin subscribers, you have access to the exclusive add-on kits, past kits, things related to Stampin' Up! If you want refills. There's also these add-on dies that are done quarterly. The current quarter is $13 for this set of dies. And I've got a bonus running. So if you subscribe through me to Paper Pumpkin by February 10th, I will gift you a set of these dies. So there's a postage stamp. This says beautiful. Oh, you can kind of see I cut them out. There's a stem and the tulip on here. I just made a cute little note card so you can kind of see what these look like. Each month, an item in the dies coordinates with the Paper Pumpkin kit. So that's how that works. February 10th is the deadline. The 10th of every month is the deadline to enter a new subscription. So if you subscribe through me, I will put your name in for a chance to win or receive those dies from me for free. We have new kits this month. Every month Stampin' Up! Does at least 2 kits. Hello, Juju. Macman might be here, I'm not sure. How was your day today? Better, I hope. When I checked your replay, I don't know if it was yesterday or the night before. I think it was last night when I checked the replay, because I usually listen in after I'm done with mine. And you had said you had had a pretty bad day, so I hope today was better. Hi, Bon Bon. So on stages for demonstrators, last day to register is Friday. If you like going to conferences or conventions, this is a really fun one because you get to meet all kinds of other people who love to craft. And it's just a really fun time. If you've got questions about it, if you're a demonstrator, let me know. Juju needs to go to sleep. Still recovering after a couple of bad days, but at least today was a little bit better. The weekend's coming. Tomorrow's hump day at least. Well, and at least you're in bed. That's cool. Thanks for stopping in. So let's get down to business so that those of you who need to go to sleep can go to sleep. Oh, you still have a couple of long days ahead. I'm sorry. How long before you can retire? Maybe I shouldn't ask. You're probably too young. So last night we did this card, just a couple of us that were hanging out live. So we cased this card out of the catalog. Made a couple of changes. We did some ink blending around the edge of the thick basic white base. This I thought was with the letters, the mini alphabet dies that coordinate with the font on here, but it wasn't. They obviously stamped it on there, and we kind of moved things around, but It's pretty close. So tonight, you have 15, 15 years before you can retire. You're not old. You're a puppy. Bon Bon, you give her what for? If she needs to go to sleep, she needs a rest. I used to always say sleep is overrated, but I took a nice long nap tonight. So I'm not going to talk. We were busy throughout the day. I had a couple of online commitments that I had to do. Gave one of my chickens a spa day. Sat with her on the couch. I don't usually bring the chickens in the house, but she was all wet, so I couldn't put her back out in the coop because it's too cold. So we sat on the couch and fell asleep. She was all wrapped up in a towel and she wasn't going anywhere. She was happy. So anyway, so not last night because we did this card, but the few nights before, oh, and I guess not the couple of nights before because we did these. The few nights before that, I was working on the challenge. So last night I asked, should we do the challenge or should we case a card out of the catalog? And the vote was to case the card out of the catalog. So what do we want to do? We will use this suite of products to do this. Now I can show you too one of the samples, and that to me is just a lot of red going on. So if we do the challenge, we're going to tone it down quite a bit. Or we could case one of the cards here. Let's see. Or we could case one of these. There are a couple little techniques that I wanted to show you. So what do you think? Should we case a card or just kind of freelance and do the challenge? Any votes? Maybe I should show you the couple of techniques while you think. There was, and I might have mentioned it last night actually. Well, as long as she's used to being bossed around, that's good. It's all good. So last night, when we were doing this card, I had suggested that if you don't have this stamp set, maybe you have an old stamp set that is a heart and you didn't buy the new one, which sometimes I don't buy the new one if I have something that's really similar. You could get this design by like wrapping a rubber band around the block and then cutting it out, or having if you had a punch or a die to cut it out. Or we could also do what I called a kissing technique. So, oh, you want to do both? You're not going to stay awake that long, are you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can get something like this with just a flat stamp. So I'm flipping this over so that the striped side is down on my glass, and I'm just going to stamp with that flat side. And let me get just a scrap here. Well, it's not really a scrap. Maybe I should find a scrap so I'm not wasting a full card front. Here, we'll put it on here. All right. So we're going to ink this up. And these are the colors that are in the Designer Series paper. So we've got Poppy Parade, Flirty Flamingo, Real Red, Bubble Bath, and Strawberry Slush. The Bubble Bath looks more like a light purple to me than a pink. But when you work it out, it actually looked pretty good, I thought. Because we use the Bubble Bath ink blending here. We used Bubble Bath for the base for the Valentines. And then Strawberry Slush and Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo. So we used the colors, all right? So anyway, pretend that this is just a solid stamp, all right? And I'm gonna do it in Strawberry Slush. And I'm just gonna ink up that stamp like I normally would, like I was stamping a solid image, right? And then I'm gonna take something like this embossing folder that's got a design on it. And I'm gonna take the bumpy side, not the side that's depressed where the bumps push into, but I'm gonna take this and I'm going to lay it right on that stamp. And then I'm going to lift it up. And I don't know if you can see that. And I'll try to zoom in a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the embossing folder lifted some of that color, okay? Another stamp would do the same thing. So when we stamp this down, hopefully this will work. We've got a little design in there, all right? So it's not exact because, you know, you see some images there that we might not have really wanted on there, but you can see how it lifted that up. So you can make unique looking stamps different from what they come. Does that make sense? Does that sound silly? And then when we flip it over, you could kind of do the same thing depending on, and it might work better if I didn't use an embossing folder. So let's say, let me find, oh, let me close that. Let's find another stamp. I'll just use this one. We'll do this again and we'll see how it looks with a stamp. All right, so I'm gonna ink that up. I guess I need to ink it up a little bit better over here. All right, and then we're gonna take one of these and let's do maybe just the thank you. We'll kind of come out of the middle there. Oh, the thank you won't work because it'll end up being backwards. Let's do the flower. That would be kind of silly to do it backwards. It's just to kind of give you the idea of how this works. So I put the textured side up. So now if I put the flower, let's just do it this way so maybe it shows. So now I'm just going to pick up the ink with that. And you can maybe kind of see that in there. But when we go to stamp it down, we're going to have stripes, or not stripes because I did the solid side, but we're going to see a flower. See the flower in the middle there? So I think they call that the kissing technique. Okay. So let's see what it looks like if we flip it over and do stripes and the flower. I'm just curious. I haven't done this for a long time, but when I looked at this stamp, I thought, oh yeah, we should try that. So let's wipe that off. And we'll take a flower off of here and see how that looks. Now try not to wiggle it around. So there's the heart with the stripes, and you can kind of see the flower in there, but now if we use the flower, we're gonna have a striped flower. Pretty cool, you think? Something to put in your memory bank for creating something. It does give you different ways to use your stamps. Let me just put this flower one away and we'll go with it here. All right, I don't know, maybe we should use a couple of these on our stamp, on our card. I don't remember if I washed that off, so we'll wash it again. Now, should we case first or do the card challenge first? Or the sketch challenge? Now I did finish up those scrapbook pages and I showed those night before last maybe. So if you missed it, if you want to see those, I don't know where I put them right now. I was going to say I could grab them and show you, but just look online, you'll see them. All right. So let's go ahead and maybe just do a quickie card. This one I kind of like. What do you think? Do you like that one? Yes, hello to the balcony watchers. Feel free to join in. Let's go ahead and do this one. I did cut out or use the die cut for the heart yesterday, and I tried it with my needle and winding the ribbon in, and it actually worked. So let's find some bubble bath paper, and we'll make a card base. Now this looks like it's probably tinted, so it's like this, and I'm going to do it landscape because I think they display better when they're landscaped. So I'm going to score it at 5.5 instead of 4 1/4. And then we'll cut at 4 1/4 where we would normally score. And then when I do it on one piece of paper, oh, I guess I should zoom back out here. That's really close, isn't it? There we go. Woo. All right. So that way I've got 2 card bases ready to go. All right, and then it looks like we need another layer that's embossed. They may have embossed the card itself. I'm going to do a separate layer, and I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. So we'll do 4 1/8 instead of 4 1/4, and instead of 5.5, we'll do 5 3/8. And that'll give us a nice layer for that monochromatic look. And then we'll run it through that embossing folder. Now that's got the hearts. I also like this one too, this lovely stripes. Any preference? Should we case it like it's shown, or should we case it with a little edit? So we could put stripes on here instead, or we could do the hearts. Hearts or stripes? Looks like I'm still in kind of close, huh? There we go. Stripes or hearts, anybody? Or do I need to do both of them and we can see which one you like better? Because it's good to have choices, right? All right, I am not bringing Bossy Bessie onto the table just because I don't want to clear all that off. So let me take these and I'll be right back. Now both of these are 3D embossing folders. So you want to use your base plate and your number 4 plate. And then make sure that you emboss to follow the landscape design. So like this one for the hearts, normally I would put it in this way, but I wanted to make sure I did it sideways. And when we're using these, you can use the line at the bottom to make sure that your design is going to be straight. Bon Bon, you get to sleep in? Oh, you're sleeping. Or maybe you're in bed. If you're typing, I don't think you're asleep. All right, so we could do the hearts, or let me get the striped one. We're going to make that one go sideways too. if you're going to sleep, you should probably go where you're going to get the best sleep. All right, so this one gives us stripes. So we've got stripes in the heart or hearts in the heart. Or we could probably cut this down smaller and do both of them. What do you think? And since everybody's tired, I might just have to make an executive decision, hey? So in the meantime, I'm going to start sewing this ribbon on. And I don't know how long I need it. So we'll see. Now, when they sewed it on here, they did it every third spot. And I did this on thick basic white just so that I would likely have more success without it ripping. Who knew I would sew making cards? Looks like they might have done it a little looser. So maybe I'll just loosen a couple of these up. But to keep it from twisting to the front, I'm just holding it in place until I get to the end of the ribbon. Maybe if I tried to keep my ribbon straighter, it might work better too. I don't know. Juju, is Tyler still at home or is he gone already? I don't know if I knew when he starts his assignment. Or maybe he doesn't have his orders yet. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Maybe Juju's sleeping already too. All right, so this one I'm going to go ahead into the bottom one just because I think it'll look better. Oh, it looks like that's what they had to do also. And then I'm just going to skip one going up to the top, so it looks kind of symmetrical. So I was actually surprised that my needle went through this paper all right because it seemed pretty big. But I tried it out yesterday just to make sure, because if it wasn't going to work, I wasn't going to weave it because this ribbon is pretty narrow. We're getting there at least. We're almost done with this part. I like how that looks. And this isn't the first time I've sewn on my cards either, because remember that the sweater one that we had from the, I don't remember if that was an online exclusive or if it was in the last mini catalog for September to December. I think I'm just going to put that right across the top there. We'll finish it off and we'll take that to the back. That works for me. All right. So I don't even know how much I measured off. I just kind of went around twice and added a little bit, so that was obviously more than I needed. But then I'm just going to put some tear and tape on the back of here to hold those ends down. We'll put some dimensionals on here and we'll get it ready. I think I'll put a little piece in the middle too. All right, so that's ready. And then I just need to find these couple of designer series papers. So there's one with the bright hearts on it. And I think it's from the 12 by 12 here. We also have a small pack of 6 by 6 papers, and it could be from that. I think it is. What's on the other side of here? 12 by 12. So I must have missed something. Made with Love. Made with Love, designer series paper. I don't think I'm, oh, here it is. Here's this one. So we need just a little strip of that, and then some little flowers. Oh, I was looking on all the back sides, and it's on the front. There we go. All right, so we need just a couple of strips. They're probably, looks like maybe 5 1/4-ish. So I'm going to do 1 1/4 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. And then I wanted to make sure that my design is landscaped. This one I don't think it'll really matter. I'm going to do 1 1/4 inches on that one. And then let's just go, oh, that's got a couple of pieces of this. 1, 2, and then the little strip. So this one actually looks like it's only about 1 inch. So let's do 5. I'm going to make that 3/4 inch. We'll save this. We'll save that piece. And then this one we'll do 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. We'll see how it looks. We can save that piece. So now we've got with the hearts. It's a lot going on. I think I might like it better with the stripes. And we're going to cut this one a little bit smaller. I think we'll cut both of these a little bit smaller. I wish I could move this card out of the way. And then that's going to go here. And our little heart's going to go here. Oh, I probably should have stamped on there first. And then we want a bow. Take my needle off of there. And then we need the gold arrow. Now, I did actually cut that ahead of time. So we're just going to go like this and snip it. And then let's find the stamp for the love. Let's put this over here. Hopefully, oh, that's not going to work. We're going to cut out the love because I already put dimensionals in here and that's not going to stamp very good. So let's just take these dies out. And we want LOVE. I had a leftover piece. Here it is. We're going to do these individually. So rather than cutting off or die cutting the entire die, we're going to do these like so. We're going to do the L, the E, the O, and the V. And the reason why I want to do these is that I've got the adhesive sheets on the back. So I'm just going to use some of this. I think it's called frog tape. I don't know. I think it's going to hold a little bit better than washi tape. I just want to hold that paper in place so it doesn't shift around in the die machine. I'll be right back. So we've got the love, L-O-V-E. Hopefully I won't spell it wrong. And I'll just have to peel off some of this frog tape later. That might not have been my best choice, but my take your pick tool will get it off, all right? I'll play with that later. Washi tape may have been a better option. Who knows? All right, so if we're going to put these here, I'm just trying to look at this sample again. I'm going to cut this just a little bit shorter. And that one a little bit shorter too. So let's see. I've got those at about 4.5 inches, I guess. 4.5, 4 3/4. And I actually think I like it better with the striped. So I've got the lovely stripes instead of the hearts. The hearts kind of has a lot going on. We'll hang on to those little pieces because we might use them for another card. So this can go here. I just wonder if that's the best color for us. Yeah, I think that'll work. I wasn't sure. These are a little different shade. That's probably got like the Flirty Flamingo in there, but this is definitely the Bubble Bath, so we'll work with that. So let's put these back on here. Hello, Yuda. Bon Bon and Juju are probably asleep. They might still be hanging out, but I think they might be asleep. So I'm just talking to myself. Thanks for joining me. Juju suggested we do the challenge card and a case from the catalog. So I decided to start with the cased one first. I know it is late. I guess both of them have had a couple of long days. And I had a long nap today, so I'm good. I think that's up a little high. I probably should have put that up a little higher. I wonder if I can peel these off still. Because we need the Today and Always down lower. All right, now I'll press those on. And then we need just a scrap. For that sentiment. And I need to find the stamp. Today and Always. How was your day, Yuda? I have a lot of stamps out here. I'm going to put those on there. So were you here? Your day was relaxing? Well, that's good. Good to hear. Were you here when I showed how to create some different effects with the stamps and another stamp? Because I showed what's called a kissing technique. So you might want to, if you're interested in that, if you're not familiar with that, go watch the front end of this if you haven't already. All right, let's find my scrap here. And we're going to do Today and Always. Looks like we're going to do that in Poppy Parade. Yes, the kissing technique. Now that shows it on the tag that's in this die set. You do know. Okay, cool. I just need to find the dies again. There is a tag in here. Oh, I have that out already. Here we go. So that's there. Let me go ahead and cut that out. I'll be right back. That's a pretty fun little label. like that it has the little punch out in there already. And then we're going to make a bow on here. Oh, I don't need to go through my die, I need to go through the tag. So what have you been working on craft-wise? Have any projects going? I think that's going to have to work. I'm not really happy with that bow though. Let's see if I can do it this way. Sometimes I have to tie my bows upside down for them to work right. I don't know why. Probably because of whether I take it over the top or around the bottom. That didn't work either. One of these will work. See, that worked, but it's upside down. So artist trading cards. Oh, and you had a card out in the mail. Nice. Mail it Monday. Some days I get my bows right on the first time, and other days, not so much. There. That's going to work. Need to find my ribbon scissors, though. I don't know what I did with them. All right. That will probably need to be a little shorter. I guess we'll go like that. All right, so let's put all this happy stuff together. What is a small glue book? I don't know what a glue book is. So this is really textured, so I like to use the green glue. And even though the sample in the catalog shows the design going all the way to the end, they may have embossed the whole front. Oh, so you just glue things in it. Okay. Well, that's obvious enough, I guess. I was not thinking. Found my ribbon snips. All right. So now we're ready for the papers here. So do you journal in it too, or just with whatever items you're gluing in? I mean, I don't know. Do you use like magazine clippings? Things that come from your junk journal kits? I think you've got kits where people sell all the little elements, right? Not that they're necessarily little, but... Let's see where this is going to line up here. I could probably go right on this one. Maybe not, because I need to have it hanging off a little bit. Let's put another dimensional there. Oh, so different paper and ephemera. Cool. Oh, I didn't want it there. I wanted it on this side. There we go. That was a struggle too. And then I need another one right over here. All right, that works. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying new things, but it's just like I don't know if I could fit more into my packed retired schedule. I did find though that on the Stampin' Up blog, they actually have a tab on a customer side in the blog for junk journaling. I just found that out today. I didn't know it was there before, or yesterday actually. Very cute. We can put that on there. Very cute. And then there's some of the hearts from here. Let's go ahead and put a couple of dots of glue on here and let them get a little set. And then if that's going to kind of go there, we can put another glue dot here. Well, not a glue dot, a dot of glue. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool too. I'm going to try to spend some time maybe tomorrow kind of looking through and see what they have. I think there's more junk journalers than people realize. That's really a rather pretty card. So we're going to do pink, pink and pink. And then I'm going to cover these up so that I don't spill them anywhere. And I'm going to kind of let that set. I don't want to make a mess of the glue, because sometimes that's what I do. I guess it'll be all right. There. Cute. I think the cards are always so much cuter in person, you know, as opposed to just seeing them on the page. I think they just look so much cuter when we do it live. So really the only changes we did was we changed the embossing background, and we made it as a separate layer instead of going all the way to the edge. And we did the letters with the dies instead of stamped on there. Cute, cute card. I like it. So that's the one from today. Here's the one from yesterday. So that's that one. And this is what made me think of that kissing technique. So that's why I showed that. A couple of people I don't think had seen that before. So are we done for tonight, or should we do a challenge layout? I see there's a few people maybe still hanging around, so we could use some of the elements that were left over. And let me find the challenge. We could do the challenge card. So let's go ahead here. Oh, you're done? Thanks, Yuta. Thanks for popping in. I know you need to end your day too. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit. So this is the one that I thought was just an awful lot of red. So I thought we'd tone it down with maybe some white and more pinks instead of the red. Let's get that Poppy Parade back out here. So I already have a thick basic white card base. And then here I think, well, that's going that way, so we won't be able to use this one. I'm going to pull in some of these other pieces that might be fun to use. And we'll use some more texture because I really like texture on the cards. And let me find, here we go. So let's do the hearts embossing folder. And I'm going to run it through and we'll just trim it down. And I think I want kind of this line of hearts. You might not be able to see that, but I want that line of hearts, I think, when I trim it down. Let me make sure this is 5.5 inches. It is, okay. Hate to go to all that work and then have it not be the right size, right? All right, I'll be right back. So this is not typically a card that I would create on my own. It's not a layout that I would normally do, just because there's a lot going on there. And when I looked at some of the samples, it's like, that is just not my style. This one's kind of cute, but that one doesn't really speak to me either, with just the random flowers in there. But basically what this card does, it flips that sketch around. This one follows the sketch and this one just has it flipped. And that's what I did when we did the scrapbook pages. I've got a few hearts here too. Some little hearts. I thought I had a few more than that, but they might have gotten lost. All right, so let's just see. I'm gonna bring back my thumbs up in here. Well, I guess you can't even see that because I'm zoomed in a little far. Oh, there we go. My video's delayed, I forget. All right, so let's go ahead and do, this looks like it's kind of a thin strip, but I'm gonna do 1 inch. And I want those hearts to show. right, so we're going to have this piece. Let me bring the sketch over a little closer. So Stampin' Up! Does these sketch challenges, and when you see it, you might see it online and it looks kind of like this. They do them on Instagram and on Facebook. So they're basically just challenging all of us to make something with that sketch using whatever ideas you can come up with. So we're gonna come up with something here. And we're just gonna use all this Valentine's paper, I think. Now, some of these I'm going to loosely interpret, and I'm not gonna make them all rectangles because that can be a little boring. So let's make this one maybe 2 1/4 inches. And then maybe we'll make it just a little bit narrower. And then I think I need to actually burnish this a little bit more so that that card's not bouncing around at us. The thick cardstock sometimes does that. It doesn't want to lay quite as flat without a little bit more persuasion. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So I've got these numbered. So we've got 1, 2. It could probably even be a little bit smaller. 3 can be really small. We could make this as our 4. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see. I actually want that maybe under there. I don't know if I like this little block or not. I kind of like the heart. If you've got some suggestions, let me know. I think we might put a couple of these little hearts on here. They were cut out from another piece. Oh, that's something else we can do. There's a lot of dies here. We can do XOXO. Let me cut these out. So what I'm thinking here is we can use this as an element. So we could use this as like number 6. So let's scooch this over here a little bit. And I'm not putting anything down yet because, you know, we might change our mind where we want it. That could be 8 or 9 rather. And maybe we would make this 10. Or maybe we should make an arrow. We could make the arrow the 10. Or we could make the arrow 9 and that the 10. Let me cut that out too. We'll see how that looks. Oh, I have little ones. That might be kind of fun. We need another little something behind here. Let's see what we've got. So I embossed on some vellum. I might need to use that for another card. That might be cute, but maybe on another card. Well, here we go. Here's another pack of paper, the Love Notes paper. There might be some fun things on here, like this little envelope. Let's just fussy cut that little thing out of here. That's kind of cute. And then let's see if we can get these letters out of here. I might need my Take Your Pick tool. Oh, no, there it goes. Oh, I like that. So let's kind of look at this sketch again. I don't think I'm going to make that big arrow. I kind of like it with the little ones. So we could do 8. That could be 9. We need 5. 5 needs to be a long piece. Maybe we'll do this. Or a narrow piece, rather. I think I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. This could actually be our piece number 4. It's just right side up instead of sideways. And then we need a little rectangular piece, or a square, small square. That could go there. And then we've got 5. I don't think I like that pink color, the bubble bath. I think might need to be a different color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need just a couple more elements, I think. I think we need to do that in a different color. That bubble bath is not doing it for me. We could do something like this. Oh, that'll be cute. I don't know that we'll need this arrow. Let's see what other paper we have. Well, that might work, actually. here. Oh, that might work. I think I like this color better than the bubble bath. So let's do 5.5. And then I think I did 3/4 of an inch. I'll do 3/4 of an inch and I'll do an inch and we can see which one looks better. Sometimes it's just a matter of laying it out to see what works. So this one's coming off. We might use that for a different card some other day. So, you know, that makes it better for me. I like that better. Or we could make it a little wider. Wider might be a better proportion. Oops. So let's see where we're at with the sketch here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a 6. So this is 7, 8, 9. And then the arrow is kind of our 10. This is maybe our 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I lost track. I can't even count to 10. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need another piece. Maybe we should just put a little sentiment on there. That can be another piece. We'll just trim it down. Or maybe this one. That might work. Let's fussy cut around here. And see how that looks. Sometimes these challenges just take a little bit because you just have to come up with stuff on your own, not because you don't necessarily have a sample to case. You've just got a sketch. Sometimes these challenges might have a color combination. Sometimes I think they might have like a specific product. I don't remember. Okay. I think I'm going to put this on a white piece, and that's going to end up being our number 6. That might just be easier to manage. And sometimes you just have to wing it because nobody's piping in what suggestions you might have. So a lot of nights what happens here is whoever is watching with me live chimes in with suggestions and what you think would be a good addition to the project. All right. And then let's do these little hearts. They've got stick 'em on them because I used adhesive sheets. Can you hear my clock going? All right, so we're going to do this as our item number 4, I think. This will be 6. It's still kind of busy. I don't know that I like this piece. That one might work. I think we might be able to start putting things on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have a 7. 8, 9, 10. So this needs to maybe be a little bit smaller. Both of these may be smaller. And I'm not even measuring, I'm just eyeballing what might work. And then this one may be a little narrower. And that way we can get another piece in there. And we could always put another arrow on there. Or let's see. I wonder how that would look embossed with the hearts. Let's give that a try. It's nice to see we have a few night owls. Let's just trim this down a little bit. And we'll see how that looks. So if you're just joining me, feel free to comment, let me know where you're joining from. So here, when I put this gold piece in, I'm going to try to line it up so that that large heart is right in the middle. And I'm using this line down at the bottom to keep it straight. Oh, that's kind of fun. Let's see how this all comes together here. So that might actually be a little big, because if this is here, that's there. That actually looks like it's supposed to be over there. Let me trim that down just a little bit and we'll see how it looks. I'll trim a little bit off of each side. That way we've got the ring of hearts in there. Kind of cute. And that might work. So it doesn't have to be exactly per the sketch. And we could still put some of these on here, just as a little added embellishment. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That little envelope is 9, and the heart with the arrow is 10. Perfect. Let's start gluing these puppies down and see how it looks when we're finally done. Now, the other thing we might want to do is, that white is pretty bright white. Last night we did a little ink blending, and let's try some of that again. I think let's just take a look what we want. Flirty Flamingo is kind of peachy. Let's do the strawberry slush and see how that looks. So we're just going to move all of this stuff off to the side. We'll kind of do it in the order that we're going to attach everything, right? And I'm glad I put those together on a white piece, because that is going to make it a little bit easier to put down there. All right, and I'm going to scoot this out of the way for right now. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's do this. Let's see how this looks. I have an idea. We're going to kind of make some DSP designs on here. Hopefully it won't be too bright. See how that is? We're just going to use that to create some interest here. And I'm probably blocking some of the light. I apologize for that. Oh, that's kind of fun. Let's do a little bit more on there. I need just a little bit more at the base of that point on the arrow. There we go. And then maybe we'll come in here. All right, let's see how that looks. And then I think what we'll do is we'll just add a little bit more color here, and we'll just kind of soften that up a little bit. Oh, that might be fun. All right. I like using my glass mat to add the ink, because then I can pull up off of there as well if I need to. All right, so let's start gluing. So leave a comment if you've done any of these challenges before, or if you find them kind of scary. I found this one a little on the scary side. And I'm going to leave just a little edge of white over here. Don't ask me why, I just think it needs that little edge. Maybe because there's going to be some white there. Got a little bit of ink on there. before I cleaned it off. Whoops. All right, so let's bring this sketch back in. These can get glued on here though. Well, we'll just do this. A little bit there. A little bit there. My fingers here are a little strawberry slushy. Should grab my take your pick tool, but this is handier. There we go. It's a little distracting to me seeing all that pink on my fingers. All right, so this piece. So each of our catalogs has been including a page with some sketches on it, which is great for inspiration when you're a little stuck as to what you should do. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals, and I think our item number 3, instead of going on top, is going to go behind. So I'm going to get this up on dimensionals first, and then we'll see where that little square should go. All right, so if we're going to put this like here, because we want a little space here to kind of go with the sketch. So this, we're going to cut off our arrow a little bit, but it's going to go right about there. This sketch was, it seemed a little daunting at first because there are a lot of pieces there. But the other night when we did this, we did a card, the first night I did the sketch, and then I did a 2-page scrapbook layout. And we ended up for the card, we did the sketch this way. If you were here, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but we did the card sketch this way. So we had it grounded and then worked our way up. For the scrapbook layout, then we did the left page with the long piece on the left, and then we flipped it and did the other page with everything coming off from the right. I thought it turned out pretty good. I thought it was pretty fun. All right, so this we're going to kind of put right up there. And then this piece. And I know a lot of people don't like using the green glue because they say it's too messy. And I say if your green glue is too messy, you're using too much glue. The green glue a little bit goes a long way. And this has just a little piece that's going to have to stay there. I see there's a little nub on there, but it'll be all right. We might end up covering that anyway. So let's put this piece up on dimensionals too. So that's going to be our piece number 7, and we might actually overlap that a little bit. This is going to be our piece number 8. So I'm going to glue that one down. So some of these that take a long time like this, these have to go to somebody you really like. So I'm varying from the sketch again because I'm putting that piece over onto that long strip just because I like it better that way. And then we're going to put our little letter on here. And I just wonder if if this is going to go here, I should have probably put adhesive sheets on this, but I think this is going to have to go underneath so that it sticks down good, and then that arrow is going to come through like so. You know, it would be kind of fun to snip the arrow and have part of it going through there. Let's see what that looks like. So that way we can have part of it on top and part of it on the bottom. All right, so we'll work with that in a second here. So we need to put this piece kind of in here. This piece is going to go up here. I probably should have put this up a little higher, but it's too late now. So I guess we'll just move that one over there. You just never know how it's going to turn out, right? And then this we'll put over here. And maybe we'll do, and maybe we'll put that over here too, and just kind of step it a little bit. And then if we put, that's a lot going on with the heart now with, well, it looked better when we started. So let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that heart's going to be too much. We need to find something else for the 10, or just leave it off, because the background could kind of take the place of the 10. Maybe a solid heart would look better rather than that one. We've got some dies. That might look better. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals too. So when it doesn't look quite right, we just kind of pivot and do something else. So that I'm going to put over there. Let's get rid of some of this debris. We can always put the heart inside the card too, with the arrow coming through here. Part of it going behind. So we could do that. That would work just as a kind of an embellishment in the inside. That could be fun. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We just need that last little element. Let's see if I can find something that trips my trigger. Oh, I have an idea. It's not going to be as big, but this could be this on a rectangle cut out. So let's do some Poppy Parade and see what that might look like. The sizing on there is just a suggestion. So let's just see how this looks. We'll make a little tag out of this maybe. I'm almost done. Just picking up these little hearts that came out of here. So there were 5 hearts, but what I'm thinking is we just cut this and put that on as our element number 10. And maybe back that with white so it looks nice and bright. Let's find a scrap. And I need about 1/2 inch. Maybe about that long. So that can be our item number 10. It'll be a different size, but it's all right. I wonder how it would look with ribbon coming through here. Let's just see. Susan Johnson, welcome. You are in a campsite in Port Fairy, Victoria. Well, that sounds relaxing. Okay, that didn't turn out how I thought it was going to turn out. Over, under, oh, over, under. Yeah, that doesn't look as cute as it seemed to look in my head. Yeah, that doesn't work. That part doesn't work, but I think this will work. All right. So I'm going to take my bone folder though, and I'm going to press on the back side of this piece. So you are 4 hours south from Melbourne, as far down south as you can go. Oh, how fun. Sounds very relaxing. So there's just a little bit of an outline from the die. So I just want to minimize that a little bit. So let's put a little bit of green glue here and here. So Susan, we are doing the sketch challenge. We cased a card from the mini catalog already. I'll show you that in a minute. Thanks for stopping in. And then let's put a little bit more glue on here. So do you fish? I think that works. I think that works. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think I counted that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. there's our challenge. Loosely interpreted, but there's our challenge. And I think we could maybe use those little hearts on there and soften up that bright white a little bit too. It's a quiet bunch tonight, Susan. Juju and Yuta were here, but they both had busy days, so they may still be online, but snoring while they're while they're watching. I don't know. All right, so there's the challenge. I like it. So from the one sample that was given with the challenge, which is like really bright, that's a lot of red to me. There's these others. That one doesn't, I used to love crumb cake, but I don't use crumb cake much anymore. Pecan pie is a much nicer brown for me. And then that's another sample, but I think this one is actually pretty cute. And I'll save these other elements. I might use those for another card, because there's nothing wrong with them. And we'll just save them. I lost the cap to my scissors again. To my snips. It's here somewhere. All right. Yeah, it's pretty close to the sketch. So you're just relaxing, doing beach walks. I love the water. Your daughter's a nurse and she's got some time off. That's great. Enjoy your week. Did you just get down there? Because it's like Wednesday evening for you. All right, so let's see, 17. It's like 7, it's almost 8 o'clock by you, right? Is that right? So I don't know if you can see, Susan, we actually did a little bit of ink blending with the mask. We used, well, not a mask, but I used the arrow to just create a little bit of interest in the background. All right, so you just got down there. Well, enjoy your time. That's awesome. So that's the challenge. I'll be posting it to the Stampin' Up with the hashtag, and then I'll put it on my Facebook page as well. Let's uncover that here. So I'll put that on my Facebook page. And then, since you missed it, here's the card we cased from the catalog. So the variation that we did was, instead of the hearts embossing folder, which is the here we go. So instead of the hearts of love, we use the lovely stripes. It just seemed to look better. And then the bubble bath ribbon we put through that heart there. I think that's about the only changes really, was that the background. We used a different embossing folder for that. So yeah, isn't that clever when they do the sewing around there? I did that on the sweater from the fall catalog. And I did it on one of my pair that there was a sketch pair, like from last year's catalog maybe. It's discontinued now, but I did some stitching on that one too. That was pretty fun. It looked pretty cool. All right. So that's all I've got for tonight. We did a little bit of the kissing technique early, so if you've not done the kissing technique before, or if it's been a while since you've done it, you might want to watch at the beginning. And then I have some other elements. I did a little embossing on vellum, so we might do some more of that tomorrow. We'll see. But it's about 2 in the morning here for me, so I should probably head to bed. and start my day. Yeah, sewing through here, I used thick basic white so that when I did, and I used a needle this time, like almost like a small darning needle. Not like a big one, but because this is such narrow ribbon, it worked. I tried to do some needle sewing with some ribbon on something not too awful long ago, and it just didn't work because it was going to rip the paper. So I made sure that I used the thick basic white for this one. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your quiet time with your daughter, and we'll catch you next time. So good night, everybody. Until next time, happy crafting.